If you're watching this alone right now, you need to listen very, very carefully. My name is Arthur Hale. I'm 95 years old, and I've lived long enough to know that the world doesn't always tell the truth about the moments that matter most. They lie to you about how a heart attack happens. The movies and television shows show a man clutching his chest, gasping for air, collapsing dramatically to the floor. It looks sudden and violent. It makes for powerful scenes on a screen. But real life isn't like that. Sometimes it begins quietly. 3 years ago, when I was 92, my heart started failing on an ordinary evening. I was sitting alone in my living room, just like any other night. There was no thunderbolt of pain. No dramatic collapse. There was only a whisper. A strange heaviness settled into my chest. Not sharp pain, just pressure. Like someone had quietly placed a heavy sack of sand across my collarbones. Then came something even stranger. A feeling of dread. A cold, sinking feeling deep in my stomach that something inside my body was terribly wrong. My jaw began to ache. My hands turned cold and damp with sweat. And my mind immediately tried to lie to me. It said, "Arthur, it's just indigestion. You're getting old. Lie down and rest." But that's the trap that kills people. If you lie down during a heart attack, your damaged heart has to fight harder to pump blood against gravity. Fluid can build in your lungs. Many people who lie down never wake up again. So I didn't lie down, I stood up. And the first thing I did was pick up the phone and call 911. Not later. Not after waiting to see if it passed. Immediately. But calling for help is only the beginning. The ambulance might take 10 minutes. Sometimes longer. And the heart muscle can begin dying in less than 5. So while the phone was ringing, I did something most people never think about. I walked slowly to the front door and unlocked it. If you live alone and collapse behind a locked door, paramedics lose precious minutes breaking in. Minutes that can mean the difference between life and brain damage. I opened the door, then sat down in the chair beside it. Every unnecessary step burns oxygen your heart desperately needs. Before I sat down, I made one stop in the kitchen. Inside a drawer was a bottle of plain 325 milligrams aspirin. Not Tylenol, not ibuprofen, aspirin. I took one tablet and chewed it slowly instead of swallowing it. It tasted terrible, bitter and chalky. But chewing it allows the medicine to enter your bloodstream almost immediately through the lining of your mouth. A heart attack is often caused by a clot blocking an artery. Aspirin helps prevent platelets from sticking together and worsening that blockage. Later, my cardiologist told me that single tablet likely bought me valuable time. So there I was, 92 years old. Door open, bitter aspirin in my mouth. Cold sweat on my forehead, and waiting. This is the moment many people panic. Your brain floods your body with adrenaline and fear. Your heart starts racing, which only makes things worse. You might have seen those viral posts online telling you to do something called cough CPR. Do not rely on internet myths during a crisis. Instead, I focused on something simple. Breathing, slow, steady breathing. For seconds in through Thanos, 6 seconds out through the mouth, again and again. I forced my body to stay calm while my heart fought to keep beating. 14 minutes later, the paramedics walked through the open door. I was pale. I was shaking. At the hospital, doctors placed a stent in one of my arteries. And the next morning, I was sitting up in bed, eating a bowl of terrible hospital gelatin and realizing something remarkable. I was still alive. Now I'm 95 years old and I share this story for one reason. Because in the most critical moment of your life, you may be completely alone. No doctor, no hospital, no one to think for you. Only you. So keep a bottle of aspirin nearby. Pay attention to your body, and never ignore that quiet whisper that something is wrong. Sometimes survival doesn't come from strength. It comes from knowing exactly what to do in the first few minutes. And those minutes can mean everything.